We hear that call even more powerfully today, and we mourn the loss of Coretta Scott King, mother of a movement for equality. One that changed the world but is only really getting started. Cause these issues are as alive as they ever were, they just change shape and they cross the seas. Preventing the poorest of the poor from selling their products while we sing the virtues of the free market. That's not charity, that's a justice issue. Holding children to ransom for the debts of their grandparents, that's not charity, that's a justice issue. Withholding life-saving medicines out of deference to the Office of Patents. Well, that's not charity. To me, that's a justice issue. And while the law is what we say it is, God is not silent on the subject. That's why I say there's laws of the land and then there's a higher standard. And we can hire. Experts to write them so they benefit us, these laws, so that they say it's okay to protect our. Agriculture, but it's not okay for African farmers to protect their agriculture, to earn a living. As the laws of man are written. That's what they say. But God will not accept that. Mine won't. I don't will yours. I close this morning on very thin ice, probably. This is a dangerous idea I put on the table, here. My God versus your God, their God versus our God, versus no God. It's very easy, in these times, to see religion as a force for division rather than unity. And this is a town. Washington that knows something of division. but the reason I'm here, and the reason I keep coming back to Washington, is because this is a town that is proving it can come together on behalf of what the scriptures call the least of these. It's not a Republican idea. It's not a Democratic idea. It's not even with all due respect, an American idea, nor it is unique to any one faith. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. 2 Jesus says that. Righteousness is this, that one should give away wealth out of love for him to the near of kin and to the orphans and the needy and the wayfarer and the beggars, and for the emancipation of the captives. Three. The Quran says that. Thus saith the Lord, bring the homeless poor into the house, when you see the naked. Cover him, then your light will break out, then your light will be like the dawn, and your recovery will be speedily and spring forth, then the Lord will be your rear guard. Point 4. The Jewish scripture says that. It's Isaiah 58 again. It's a powerful incentive, the Lord will watch your back. Sounds like a good deal to me, especially right now. Right? The Lord. Will watch your back. Turning to President Bush, you like that? Okay. All right. A number of years ago, I met a wise man who changed my life in countless ways, big and small. I was always seeking the Lord's blessing. I'd be saying, look, I've got a new song, would you look out for it? I have a family. I'm going away on tour, please look after them. I have this crazy idea. Could I have a blessing on it? And this wise man asked me to stop. He said, stop asking God to bless what you're doing. Get involved in what God is doing because it's already blessed. Well, let's get involved in what God is doing. God, as I say, is always with the poor. That's what God is doing. That's what He's calling us to do. I was amazed when I first got to this country and I learned how much some churchgoers tithe. Up to 10% of the family budget. I mean, how does that compare with the federal budget, the budget for the entire American family? How much of that goes to the poorest people in the world? Well, it's less than 1% of the federal budget. Mr. President, Congress, people of faith, people of America. I want to suggest to you today that you see the flow of effective foreign assistance as tithing, which, to be truly meaningful, 'will mean an additional 1% of the federal budget tithe to the poor. And what is that 1% that we're asking for in the one campaign? It's not merely a number on a balance reader pulled out of the air. One percent is the girl in Africa who gets to go to school, thanks to you. One percent is the AIDS patient who gets her medicine, thanks to you. One percent is the African entrepreneur who can start a small family business, thanks to you. 1% is not redecorating presidential palaces. 1% must not be or don't give it money down a rat hole. This 1% is digging water holes to provide clean water, like I saw with Bill Frist. There, in where was it? Uganda. Okay, that's what we're after, folks. "1% is a new partnership with Africa, not paternalism towards Africa, a new partnership with Africa. Where increased assistance flows toward improved governance and initiatives with proven track records and away from the boondoggles and white elephants that we've seen before. America gives less than 1% now. We're asking for an extra 1% to change the world. To transform millions of lives, but not just that, and I say this to the military men now. Not just transform hundreds of thousands, indeed millions, of communities. But transform the way they see us, which might be smart in these dangerous times. "1% is national security. "1% is enlightened economic self-interest, and a better, safer world rolled into one. Sounds to me that in this town of deals and compromises, 1% is the best bargain around. Thank you very much. 1 Isaiah 58:9-11. To Luke 6:30. 4 Isaiah 58:7-8. George W. Bush and Tony Blair. Addresses to the peoples of Iraq. Delivered April 10, 2003. President Bush, this is George W. Bush, the President of the United States. At this moment, the regime of Saddam Hussein is being removed from power. And a long era of fear and cruelty is ending. American and coalition forces are now operating inside Baghdad. And we will not stop until Saddam's corrupt gang is gone. The government of Iraq, and the future of your country, will soon belong to you. The goals of our coalition are clear and limited. We will end a brutal regime. Whose aggression and weapons of mass destruction make it a unique threat to the world. Coalition forces will help maintain law and order, so that Iraqis can live in security. We will respect your great religious traditions. Whose principles of equality and compassion are essential to Iraq's future. We will help you build a peaceful and representative government that protects the rights of all citizens. And then our military forces will leave. Iraq will go forward as a unified, independent, and sovereign nation that has regained a respected place in the world. The United States and its coalition partners respect the people of Iraq. We are taking unprecedented measures to spare the lives of innocent Iraqi citizens. We are beginning to deliver food and water and medicine to those in need. Our only enemy is Saddam and his brutal regime, and that regime is your enemy as well. in the new era that is coming to Iraq. Your country will no longer be held captive to the will of a cruel dictator. You will be free, free to build a better life, instead of building more palaces for Saddam and his sons. Free to pursue economic prosperity without the hardship of economic sanctions. Free to travel and free speak your mind, free to join in the political affairs of Iraq. And all the people who make up your country, Kurds, Shia, Turkomans, Sunnis, and others. Will be free of the terrible persecution that so many have endured. The nightmare that Saddam Hussein has brought to your nation will soon be over. You are a good and gifted people, the heirs of a great civilization that contributes to all humanity. You deserve better than tyranny and corruption and torture chambers. You deserve to live as free people. And I assure every citizen of Iraq, your nation will soon be free. Thank you. Prime Minister Blair, I'm glad to be able to speak to you today to tell you that Saddam Hussein's regime is collapsing. That the years of brutality, oppression, and fear are coming to an end. That a new and better future beckons for the people of Iraq. We did not want this war. But in refusing to give up his weapons of mass destruction, Saddam gave us no choice but to act. Now that the war has begun, it will be seen through to the end. We will continue to do all we can to avoid civilian casualties. Our enemy is Saddam and his regime, not the Iraqi people. Our forces are friends and liberators of the Iraqi people, not your conquerors. And they will not stay a day longer in Iraq than is necessary.